MGM plus S Belgravia, the next chapter episode 8 unveiled the truth behind the biggest secrets that hanged over the period drama's protagonists, finally giving them some peace in addition to resolving their storylines. Belgravia, the next chapter's ending surprisingly brought back a Belgravia character, through a much-needed flashback and in the main timeline, giving Frederick a glimpse of what a childhood he could have had if only John Bellicis had run away with Susan decades before. Their meeting solved so many mysteries, giving credence to Enright's standpoint and even reuniting Frederick and James as brothers after Oliver's hate pulled them apart. However, Belgravia, the next chapter episode 8 also revealed where Clara and Davison had run away at the end of Belgravia, the next chapter episode 7. Their simple life up north gave them clarity and peace, but they couldn't have stayed away for too long, because of Clara's feelings for Frederick and her family still in London. Belgravia, the next chapter episode 8 seamlessly managed to conclude stories of protagonists and secondary characters alike, especially focusing on Nell and Stephen's reunion and the Rochesters finally deciding to prioritize Peter's well-being instead of their status, listening to Ellerby's suggestions at last. Why Clara and Frederick rekindle their relationship in Belgravia's ending. Their time apart made them realize where they went wrong and how big their love is. A reconciliation between Clara and Frederick would have been impossible by the end of Belgravia, the next chapter episode 7, but they did the work on themselves in the season finale. While heartbroken because Clara ran away, Frederick finally understood what he did wrong by listening to Marquise d'Etignac instead of trusting Clara. Frederick's inability to accept love and trust others stemmed greatly from his father Oliver never showing love and only mistreating him, thus learning about his biological father and meeting him helped Frederick understand more about his history, and how Enright made sure Bellicis knew about his achievements. Similarly, Clara's life up north with Davison had started to show some cracks. Simple and peaceful, Clara and Davison's jobs as maids gave them a roof over their heads but not happiness. Moreover, being so far away from her family and Frederick made her realize how she missed them, as she couldn't see them as often as she wanted. Visiting home and talking with Nell about her forgiving Stephen was what Clara needed to understand that she was willing to give her and Frederick's relationship another chance if only he had apologized, and when he did, their reconciliation was unavoidable. Frederick's reunion with his biological father finally resolves his troubled past. Meeting John Bellicis and talking with him even once let Frederick forgive himself. Benjamin Wainwright as Frederick Trenchard and Adam James as John Bellicis in Belgravia the next chapter episode 8. Belgravia's John Bellicis inviting some Belgravia, the next chapter's central characters to France to meet his biological son Frederick before his death led to so many truths finally being revealed, helping Frederick overcome his problems. While it might have been difficult for Frederick to reconcile Bellicis as a father figure knowing he had tried to kill his cousin in Belgravia, it was also very easy for him to hear his stories about his past in Belgravia, and how proud he was to hear of his achievements from Enright's letters. Knowing he had always had someone in his corner, rooting for him and being proud of him made all the difference for Frederick, even if Bellicis only learned about him from afar. Bellicis' words proved he only stayed away so that Frederick could learn to become Lord Trenchard, despite it hurting him because he would have loved to see him grow up. While their reunion lasted only for half an hour, Frederick finally understood how Oliver's mistreatment of him shouldn't have impacted his life that much, especially considering how his biological father had always loved and supported him from afar.